All right, so before we dive in, I actually posted a short take about this on Instagram the other day. Just a quick summary of what I've been thinking around MVPs and launching in 2025. And honestly, the response kind of blew me away. I got a ton of thoughtful comments, mostly from other indie builders and devs, saying they've been feeling the same thing, like this low key tension between wanting to ship fast and also knowing that if your thing catches fire, it better feel solid right away. That conversation like gave me a little extra nudge to flesh this out more here. I saw this tweet from Greg Isenberg the other day. He's someone I really recommend following if you're into startups or just thinking a lot about where the internet and AI are headed. He posts these fast moving threads every so often, usually a list of trends or predictions. And they're always kind of punchy, sometimes a little dramatic, but often they make you stop and think. And this time, one particular line really hit me. Like I actually paused mid scroll. It's number 9 on this threads. He wrote, MVPs will need to feel complete on day one because if it works, someone will clone it with AI in 15 minutes. And I just went, yeah, that's it. That's the thing I've been feeling lately, but hadn't quite found the words for yet. Because let's be real, this whole MVP mindset, the idea of building a minimum viable product, just enough to get feedback and prove the idea, that's been startup gospel for over a decade. Like, if you've ever read a blog post on building a product or been around any startup circles, you've heard this advice probably more than once, probably dozens of times, and it made total sense for a while. Back when building an app meant real overhead, you had to write everything from scratch. You needed a team. You maybe needed funding. At the very least, it took weeks, more often months, to just get a half working prototype in front of users. Back then, of course, you shipped early. You had to. Otherwise, you'd waste all that time building something nobody wanted. But now, things are different. I mean, seriously different. I'm building solo, just me. I'm using SwiftUI. I'm using tools like Cursor, Claude, and ChatGPT, not just to write code, but to help plan, scaffold, and build real functionality, and not in some gimmicky, look what AI can do way. I mean, real shipping code, production stuff, core logic, UIs, data models, entire features. So when I say I'm building fast, I mean fast, fast. And if I can do that as one person with a laptop, just think about what someone with those same tools can do if they decide to clone what I'm building. This is the part that's new. It's not just that people can copy your product. That's always been true. What's different now is the speed and quality of the clones. Let's say you launch an MVP, a super bare bones version of your idea, something that just kind of works. It's rough, it's early, but it proves there's some interest. In the past, that gave you a bit of breathing room, time to iterate, improve, and turn that spark of interest into something great. But today, the moment you get a little traction, maybe a tweet gets some likes, or you trend on Product Hunt, you're not alone anymore. You've just handed someone the blueprint, and with AI, they don't need a dev team. They don't even need to fully understand how it works. They just need to see what it does. And boom, a day later, there's a polished clone with better visuals, a cleaner flow, maybe even more features, because they didn't have to do the hard part. You already validated the idea. You gave them the map. That's the thing that's really changed. It's not just about speed, it's about what happens once you show your cards. I've seen it. You probably have too. Little indie apps that get a blip of traction and then a week later, they're surrounded by 5 knockoffs on the App Store with similar names, slightly more polished screenshots and slicker onboarding. And you can tell they were inspired by that first little launch. And look, I get it. That's just part of the internet. People copy, always have, always will, but now they copy at AI speed. 15 minutes might sound like an exaggeration, but honestly, it's not. If someone has the prompt engineering chops and a few tools lined up, they can go from your tweet to a working demo before you've even finished fixing your onboarding bug. So lately, I've been thinking a lot about completeness, not perfection, not some huge monolithic feature set, but polish, thoughtfulness. Does this feel like a finished product, even if it only does one thing? Would a user say, yeah, this is ready, I'd use this today? Because if your version feels halfway there, someone else will take it the rest of the way fast. And that's the shift. That's what's different in 2025. I still believe in launching early. I still believe in fast feedback. I still think it's good to focus, but I don't believe in launching something that feels obviously unfinished, not anymore. Because now the window is tiny. You don't have weeks or months to finish the product after you launch. You might not even have days. If it resonates, it becomes a race. And unless your version already feels solid, you're starting behind. So here's what I've been doing instead. I still move fast, but I spend a little more time making sure that what I ship feels done. I ask myself, if this caught fire tomorrow, would I be proud of it? Would I feel okay showing up to Twitter and seeing 5 clones next week? Because if not, I hold off, I polish, I tighten things up, not because I'm chasing perfection, but because I'm trying to lead with vision, with taste, with a vibe that's mine, something harder to clone than just features. It's a different kind of game now, and I think we need to adjust our playbooks. Anyway, I wanted to talk about this because I think a lot of solo devs and indie builders are feeling this shift too. Maybe you've had something cloned. Maybe you're wondering if the MPV approach still makes sense. Maybe you've hit that moment of hesitation before launching, like I have. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. Are you still shipping MVP style? Have you changed how you build and launch? What do you think about all this? Drop a comment or shoot me a DM. I'm genuinely curious. And hey, if this resonated with you, maybe drop a like or hit subscribe. I've got a follow-up video coming where I'll talk more about how I'm rethinking early product launches, how I build momentum without exposing everything too early, and how I try to balance speed with completeness. And in that next one, I'll walk you through the mindset I've landed on, the actual framework I'm using now when I build. It's not about being perfect or having some giant roadmap. It's about shipping small but shipping solid, something that actually makes sense for today. Because I think we're in a new era, and the old MVP playbook, it just doesn't cover the whole field anymore. Oh, and actually, before I wrap up, I want to share this too. I made a small post on Instagram about this whole idea, just a short take, kind of a summary, and I was surprised by how many people resonated with it. Got a lot of thoughtful comments from indie devs, designers, even a couple of startup folks. People were like, yes, I've been feeling this exact thing, but didn't know how to explain it. So yeah, if you felt this shift too, you're definitely not alone. In that next video, I'll walk you through the mindset I've landed on, the actual framework I'm using now when I build. It's not about being perfect or having some giant roadmap. It's about shipping small but shipping solid, something that actually makes sense for today. Because I think we're in a new era, and the old MVP playbook, it just doesn't cover the whole field anymore. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.